GHOne TV, your best experience.
A very good morning and welcome to Newsroom. My name is Lerato Charlotte. It's also time now to have a look at our headlines this hour. Students of Ghana School of Law declared today as Red Wednesday as they vow to use every legal means to get papers of about nearly 400 students who failed their final exams remarked by an independent body. Three-day ultimatum issued by angry Mala market traders to compensate them or face their wrath elapsed today. We will be live at the Mala market for an update.
We won't leave it. It's our property. Mala market traders' property. We have our documents and everything. We started the reclamation. First, we started it before the government sanitation minister came in. They cannot take over our land. Never. We won't allow it.
Calls increase for the Ghana Act 60 committee to render accounts to the public on expenditure regarding Ghana's 60th anniversary celebrations. We will hear from anti-graft body, the Ghana Integrity Initiative. And in business, a presidential task force on a common currency for ECOWAS meeting underway in Accra. We will have the latest updates from the forum. These and many more stories coming up in our bulletin. Stay tuned. And starting off with our top story this hour, law students at the Ghana School of Law in Accra have declared today, Wednesday, February 25th, as Red Wednesday in protest of the outcome, the law school's exams. Now, the students are livid after only 91 out of 474 passed their final examinations at the law school. This means that 81% of the students who sat for the exam failed to obtain the pass mark. We'll now speak to one of the students from the law school, Abena Ofebia Asare Boy, who's CRC secretary. Ofebia, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Now, from the students, tell us, students pass and fail exams all the time. Now, why have you declared today as Red Wednesday?
Thank you very much, Laura. So please, today has been declared the Red Day because the exams that we understand students pass and fail exams all the time, but this is unprecedented. For 81% to fail an exam shows that for 81% to fail exams shows that there is something really wrong with the system, and we have to take a stand against it.
Now, Abena, the former director of the Ghana School of Law, that's Kweku Ansah-Asare, he insists that we are seeing this outcome because the school is upholding highest academic standards. Why do you disagree?
And please, can you come again?
We spoke to the former director of the Ghana School of Law, that's Kweku Ansah-Asare, and he's telling the media that seeing this outcome because of the school that is upholding the highest academic standards, and you seem to be disagreeing with this. Why is it that you disagree?
Because we disagree mainly because one, there is an entrance exam which is deemed to take the best out of the lot into the law school. There are quality students, there are quality lecturers teaching us, and it is not the results do not really reflect the true state of affairs in the law school. You understand me? Okay,
I see. Now, what is the next point of action from the students?
Our next point of action, today we are having a press conference. Alongside the Red Day, we are having a press conference. We also hope to write petitions to the General Legal Council asking for remarking of all the failed papers. And if bad gets to worse, we may go on a protest or a demonstration, and at the least of it all, we will try and get legal representation.
And then what if the leader declines your request? What then do you do?
That is the problem. What then would we do? I just listed our whole itinerary of what we will do. The press conference telling the world what is happening in the state of affairs. Secondly, we'll try the whole demonstration bit. Then we'll also our petitions, our protests, the court action, as I just spoke about. We'll try all these things because it's not just for the students, the current students, but for posterity. There will be more law students after us who have to go through the same system of writing exams, not set by their lecturers, set by examiners who we do not know, who time and time again have failed us.
Okay. On that note, Abena, I'm sure we will be receiving more details from the students. This is ahead of the press briefing that they have scheduled for later on this afternoon. That's Abena Ofebia-Asare-Boy. She is the SRC secretary. And now let's do some analysis on this issue. We can then now speak to senior law lecturer at the University of Ghana Law Faculty, Dr. Kwaja Appiagyei-Atua. Now, Dr. Atua, thank you so much for joining us. Now, you teach the law. Is it normal for 383 students out of 474 to fail the exams? Hello, Doctor, if you can hear me, can you indicate that you are with us? All right, well, we still try and get the views from the law school in itself, and we get hold of him. Just a quick reminder that our social media is at GHOne TV on all our social media platforms. Welcome back. Like I said, we are always looking forward to hear from you. So feel free to drop your comments and share your stories with us on our social media platforms at GHOne TV. And we continue with the rest of our stories on our bulletin today, where traders at the Mala market say they will take a drastic decision in less than 24 hours in protest of the seizure of a 13.45 acre of land by the local government. The decision comes after 185 bags of of salt, including some items, were allegedly destroyed by some military personnel on Thursday, February 15th. Araba Edu reports that the traders insist they will not relent until they are given back that portion of land.
The traders at the Malam market on Monday issued a 3-day ultimatum to the Sanitation Ministry, demanding compensation for the destruction of the 185 bags of salt allegedly destroyed by some military personnel. The 185 bags of salt is estimated at a cost of 18,500 cedis. The traders also demanded for an apology from one Captain Kumson, alleged to have ordered the dastardly act. According to the traders, the 13.45 acres of land was acquired by them from one Kwate family at Bawe far back in 1982. That portion of land, which was a dumping site, according to the traders, is part of the Malam market. The livid traders accuse government of trying to take the land from them.
If by tomorrow we hear elders and meet and take a decision on it. What I'm saying, that land belongs to Malam Market Trade Association. We acquired the land from Kwate family. So the land belongs to us. It does not belong to anybody. Now the local government are aware of contract to commit construction. We can't be here, so we have to go there for the market to be built. We won't leave it. It's our property. Malam Market Traders' property. We have our documents and everything. We started the reclamation. First, we started it before the government sanitation minister came in. They cannot take over our land. Never. We won't allow it.
Calm had returned to the area Tuesday when we revisited the site, but the traders sent a strong signal that they will not relent in their attempt to reclaim the 13.45 acres. The Traders Association said they will be meeting in less than 24 hours and a drastic decision will be taken in protest of the seizure of the land, as well as the destruction of their items.
Well, I'll still be hearing from Araba on this issue. But before then, remember, we're still trying to get hold of Dr. Kwajo Appiah-J. on this issue. Now he is joining us in line finally for this discovery. Now, Dr. Etua, you teach the law. Is it normal for 383 students out of a 474 to fail their exams?
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. You are now live on air. Let me just repeat the question for you. Now, you teach the law. Is it normal for 383 students out of a total of 474 to fail their exams?
Obviously not. There's certainly something wrong somewhere.
Okay. Now, do you by any chance see this as an issue of the examiners upholding standards or the students just failing to learn?
Sorry, can you please repeat?
Do you see this as an issue, of the examiners upholding the standards, or rather the students just failing to learn?
Well, I think there is, in my opinion, there is a disconnect between the independent board, examination board, and then the lecturers. I hold the integrity of the lecturers in high esteem, and I think they are doing a good job in teaching the students. And the students also learn very hard. They put in their all. And I think the problem might be with how the examinations are set to relate to how the students are taught in the classroom. If a different body is setting the questions, the focus may be different from what the lecturers may have taught the students in the classroom. So that may be one of the issues that need to be addressed, so that when that we're able to coordinate the two. And in any case, the IEB has been declared illegal and unconstitutional. So probably the court had good reason to come to that conclusion. And so there's a need to review and possibly take away the IED and find an alternative which may work better to ensure that the quagmire that the legal education is in Ghana now would be resolved. As it is now, it's not a very pleasant experience for all of us who teach the law.
Evidently not. And the students are also calling into question the marking process and the integrity of the results released. They want their papers remarked, but by an independent body, because, I mean, they maintain they cannot trust the IEB.
I'm sorry, the line is still very faint.
Let me just rather shoot straight to the question. What do you make? I'm sure by now you have heard what the students are saying and what they're demanding. What do you make of this? Because, you know, ultimately they are saying that the IEB will be candid to expose their flaws. So they'd rather have another independent body remark their papers. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think so. I think it shouldn't be done by the IEB. There should be an independent body that should remark the exams. Because if the IEB that is doing it is the same body that is acting as both lawyer and a judge in the same matter. So it has to go to a different body altogether. And I think the fees for remarking is also extremely high. It looks as if it's a way to deter people from asking for remarking. 3,000 cedis for people to be remarked, I think it's on the high side. If at all, it has to be a minimum fee, which will ensure that those who are aggrieved can find some redress through the remarking exercise.
Back to the IEB, Doctor, do you think anybody should be persecuted? I mean, what means are we holding to account, considering the, you know, the outcome of the exams, and IEB has continuously been doing this?
Hello?
Hello?
I'm sorry, again, the line...
Anyone perhaps that has to be prosecuted, especially from IEB. I mean, this has been a continuous problem within the law school.
You said anybody should be prosecuted.
Are you saying that nobody should be prosecuted, or are you saying somebody should be?
I'm asking if that is what...
That is precisely the question that I'm asking. It's a question of accountability, particularly on the IEB.
There should be some accountability, but I don't think it falls in the realm of criminal law. But certainly there is a need for somebody to be held responsible. Because, for example, how do we determine the qualifications and the caliber of the members of the IEB? And so, and even the fact that the court, the Supreme Court, which is the apex court of the country, has ruled that that board is illegal. It cannot continue to act the way it is acting. Then there is somebody should be held responsible for not putting the right structures in place.
All right, point taken. Because of time, just before I let you go, one last question. Beyond this, do you agree with those who are calling for an end to the entrance examination module at the law school?
End of the entrance examination board.
The end of the examination, yes, at the law school.
Yes, I think that the entrance exam is certainly not in place. It's not something that should be encouraged. Because the students are already, they go through some rigors of examinations at the university level to get their LLB. And that is what the law says, that when you get your LLB, you pass your core courses and so on. You're entitled to enter the School of Law. So the School of Law should find a way to accommodate these numbers. Already, we don't have enough lawyers in the system. So that idea of cutting numbers and so on is not the way to go.
Thank you very much, Doctor. That's Dr. Kwaja Apeje Atua. He is from the University of Ghana Law Faculty. He is a senior law lecturer. And we move along to the rest of our stories. Remember, going back rather to the Malam traders market, where the traders gave a 3-day ultimatum to the Sanitation Ministry and the military to compensate them or face their wrath. Now, that 3-day deadline elapses today. And my colleague Araba Edu is at the Mala market and joins us with an update. Now, give us a fair idea of what has been happening at the Mala market.
Hello, Lera. So, like you rightly said, I am here at the Mala market. And from what we are gathering, the market authorities, executives are telling us that they are yet to receive any payment from the government concerning the 18,500 that they asked them to pay within 3 days as payment for the 185 bags of salt that were destroyed on Thursday. However, they are also saying that government has not responded to them on and the apology that they said they should render. However, the executive is yet to meet today to take up a decision, but until then, they tell me they are in talks with the police to decide their next line of action. But however, I just gathered that the chairman of the Traders Association, in the person of Nat Wyson, he said he received a call from the BNI this morning to tell them that they should hold on with their decision and they are trying to resolve the issue. But I have him here to tell us more about it. So tell us everything surrounding the situation.
Yeah, we are yet to receive any support or maybe any payment from the government. And today is the third day. We will be meeting with the police today to suggest the way forward. And we have also received a call from the security agency that they are looking forward in resolving the issue. We should exercise patience. They will come to our aid. And we also wanted to use this medium to let the whole world know that there's a way. For their family, the landowners, the custodians of the land, has issued a press release exonerating the Malam Market Traders Association, saying that government owns no land in that reclaimed site. You can check it on the Daily Heritage. The land belongs to the Malam Market Traders Association. And also the contractors that have been assigned the rehabilitation project of the Malam Market has also conducted a search on that said land that it belongs to the same family, Barukwatia family, which has been given to us. So we are using this medium to appeal to all the authorities that the land is for the Malam Market Traders Association. Mr. Kofi Ada can never use force, can never use the military against us and take something that belongs to us. It is for us. When we started reclaiming this exercise, reclamation exercise, the Honorable Ekuya Friye was then the assemblywoman. She was there, she helped us when we liaised with the MSF people who were constructing the N1 road highway. All the debris, the waste, were channeled to the program by then that we were doing the reclamation. Those days, where were Mr. Kofi Ada? So if Mr. Kofi Ada is saying that they have started the thing and that place belongs to the state or belongs to the government, this is totally false. The land belongs to the Malam Market Traders Association. And we will take it today, we will take it tomorrow. We will fight for our rights and nothing can stop us. We are taking the land to pave way for the rehabilitation process to take place. It is our land. We legally acquired it from the family. We paid for it, and we have been paying our ground rent as well. So that land lying over there is for the Malam Market Station. All in size is 13.45 acres. It's ours. Thank you very much.
Okay, Lerato, so you just heard from the chairman of the Muslim Traders Association. But until they come up with their decision, the traders are going on with their normal trading activities.
All right. Thank you very much, Rabbi. I think the chairman of the Malam Association has said a mouthful right there. Until further notice, that was Rabbi Adu reporting for us live from the Malam market. Still to come on our bulletin. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We're still expecting calls to increase for the Ghana at 60 committee to render accounts to the public on expenditure, regrading Ghana's 60th anniversary celebrations. We will hear from the anti-graft body, the Ghana Integrity Initiative. And still to come in business, presidential task force on a common currency for ECOWAS meeting is underway in Accra. We have the latest updates from the forum.
reports go beyond barriers.
The government forces were firing from that torched building, and then the rebels were also returning fire from this place.
The frustration that shows on the faces of many commuters is an indication of their anticipation.
Introducing our weekend edition of the news. If you could not catch us in the course of the week, catch us on the weekend. It's crisp, authoritative, and original. No. Trust our reporters to bring you up-to-the-minute information, whether it's breaking or developing. Our reporters will fish it out.
So we're just going to stand here and watch how this car burns to ashes without...
Our cameras never miss any action. Weekend edition starts March 3, 2018. GHOne News. News you can trust.
Hello everyone, my name is Ridwan Karim Dini Osman. The very best gift you can give to anybody is by donating blood to save a life. That is why I'm entreating everybody, all the people who follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, to join me on the 24th of February at Achimota as I help in donating 100 pints of blood to save a life. Join me as we do this together.
Sponsors UniCredit, Nexcofa from Ernest Chemist, supported by Unit Securities, Zigot, Afroship Logistics, Papaya, and Papa's Pizza. This event is brought to you by GH1 TV and the National Blood Bank.
Welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, you're watching Newsroom right here on GH1 TV as we continue with the rest of our stories on our bulletin this hour. Two youth groups have clashed at the Tamale Regional Police Headquarters. Police personnel struggled to disperse the rampaging crowd. And to give us more on these developments, we go to Tamale and speak to our correspondent, Eliasu Tanku. Eliasu, thank you very much for joining us. Now tell us, what is the latest development of clashes happening in Tamale?
Well, these are two rival Islamic factions, and they are the Ambaria and then the Masjid al-Bayan sections, and they are entrenched rivals in the metropolis here. Right now, as we speak, police are still struggling to disperse this youth group who have moved out at the police station. As we speak, some people have been beaten, a lot more have fled. And now this is what we are learning. We understand that the supreme leader of the Masjid al-Bayan sect went to the police station this morning to report an attack on him last Sunday by a scholar of the Ambaria sect. We understand that the police invited this particular scholar to come and answer to the charges against him. The information then went out to other members of the Ambaria sect, and they massed up at the police station to prevent the detention of this particular scholar. Chaos then broke out at the police regional headquarters, and then a lot of people were beaten. Hundreds of members of the Ambaria sect are currently at the regional police quarters trying to prevent the detention of this particular scholar. And we understand that this particular scholar went to the mosque or the residence of this the supreme leader of the Masjid al-Bayan while he was preaching about the history of these two particular sects in the region. we understand that he said something, and this particular scholar saw it as a defaming to their supreme leader, and so he challenged him, and then the Sheikh Bayan saw that challenge as an insult, and so this morning he drove to the regional police quarters to report that this particular scholar came to attack him, and that brought the violence. So as to speak, I saw regional security heads standing there while the youth were rampaging at the headquarters. Like I said, many people belonging to the Masjid al-Bayan have been attacked, and then the supreme leader himself is currently with the police. The youth are saying that they are not going to allow him to come out. And I'm talking about the Ambaria sect youth. They are saying that the supreme leader of Masjid al-Bayan will not come out from the police station. They have issued threats to attack him when he goes to his residence. As we speak, some of them are saying that they are marching to the regional minister office to tell him that they do not want the supreme leader of Masjid al-Bayan to preach on any radio station, and that if he attempts to preach on any radio station, they are going to attack that particular radio station and burn it down. So as we speak, the police are still trying to calm down. They are still trying to disperse this particular youth at the regional police headquarters.
Very much, Eliaso, for that update. That is Eliaso Tango, our correspondent there, giving us an update of these events that are happening in Tamale, rather. Now, with barely 2 weeks to the commemoration of Ghana's 61st Independence Day anniversary, former Deputy Minister of Communications Felix Kwacha Ofosu is challenging the Akufo-Addo-led NPP administration to respond to calls to account for every single peso spent during the Ghana at 60 celebrations. Now, according to Felix, the time has come for government to demonstrate its commitment towards upholding the principles of transparency and accountability. Now, the former Deputy Communication Minister has been speaking to GHOne Newsroom's Ridwan Karim Dini Osman.
Who had any responsibility to disburse public funds as part of the Ghana 60 celebrations certainly must render accounts. And to the extent that that has not been forthcoming, the people of Ghana are right to make such a demand. I would expect that accounts are rendered expeditiously so that everybody is convinced that nothing untoward happened. But it is a major flaw of this government that they don't respond to public sentiment in that regard. There's too much opacity. And even where clear wrongdoing is established, the president does not appear keen. We recall that in the last celebration that President Mama presided over, the parade at the Independence Square, the children were not made to stand in the scorching sun for long. They were in the stands, and then when it was time for them to march, they were invited to come and march past. I think that innovation helped address the long-standing concern that perhaps these children are put under too much stress and they are exposed to danger standing on the scorching sun. Perhaps that innovation can be improved upon.
The executive director of the Ghana Integrity Initiative, that's Linda Ofori-Kwafo, on her perspective on this particular matter. Now, while we still wait for her to come in, you will remember that Ghana at 60 was a very big deal last year, and there were contracts rendered out to particular people to foresee that the celebrations were really, and we really did live up to it. You'll remember the Independence Square. We had people coming in from all walks of life, even including some of our international dignitaries from other countries who were in attendance. You remember former President Robert Mugabe was also in attendance, among others, and with Ghanaians as well, even our own former presidents, the entire lineage of the ones that are still alive were present. It was really a big deal, but the issue right here is how much was really spent and how do we account for it? And here lies the issue there, just ahead of Ghana at 61. And indeed, now it's time to speak to Linda Ofori-Kwafo and to find out. Linda, welcome, and thank you for joining us. What do you make of calls for the Ghana at 60 committee to publicly account for funds used for the celebrations?
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to your viewers and listeners. I must say that it's a call in the right direction. Obviously, if monies are used on behalf of the people in a democratic state like ours, in a situation where we are signatories to all the open government partnerships and all that, the call is in the right direction. We are supposed to hold our leaders and people in authority accountable. So for me, I am in support of a call for the Ghana Assistee Committee, or whatever the name was, to publish or let the whole world know how much money was mobilized and how much has been spent and whatever it is. So we should give an account, a statement of account of what we have actually of our expenditure in relation to the celebration.
Now, Linda, you would recall that the committee also solicited funds from corporate Ghana and private individuals. Now, are they surprised that after 1 year, they still have not come out to account to the people?
That's the point I'm making. It doesn't matter where they took the money from. They shouldn't make an argument of the money not have come from government. What I'm saying is that the monies were collected from corporate Ghana on behalf of the citizens to celebrate the 60th independence celebration, whatever. And then once we have given you the power to do that on our behalf, then it's only proper and in line with good governance that you come back to read ordinary people, publish the statement of account. Corporate Ghana will be satisfied. The people will equally be satisfied, because very soon we are going to have another celebration and there might be one event or the other. But then, because the 60th anniversary was very huge, we should be asking for such statements of account. We all take money from donors and we give donors a statement. Some of them are published on our website and the rest. So we should be able to do the same as is being required by a section of the Ghanaian population.
Thank you very much, Linda, for your time and analysis and thoughts on this particular matter. That was Linda Oforikwa for giving us her perspective with regards to the Ghana at 60 accountability on the costs that were involved. A perfect time indeed to perhaps start stirring up that conversation on the RTI bill. Maybe it's part of good governance, part of accountability, and certainly part of transparency. And we move along to the rest of our stories in our bulletin, where 500 Ghanaian youth have been left stranded in Dubai in their quest to seek jobs. Now, their situation is as a result of failed arrangements with recruitment agencies to secure them jobs in the Gulf country. Now, government says it is tracking down recruitment agencies involved in this. It is also in talks with Consulate General in Dubai to help the stranded youth return to Ghana. Information Minister Mustafa Hamid addressed a press conference a while ago.
Government has gathered that recruitment agencies charge between 8,000 and 15,000 cedis to procure travel documents and travel visas for these young people to go to Dubai. These recruitment agencies solicit the assistance of travel and tour operators who act as sponsors of the visa applications for a fee. Meanwhile, the Consulate General in Dubai has been in regular contact with the stranded Ghanaians and is working on getting them the necessary support to return home.
Right, and now we move on to Parliament, where apparently there are some developments in Parliament, and we will be shortly joined on the phone line by our parliamentary correspondent, Ibrahim Al-Hassan. Apparently, there's been a clash as the Minister of Roads is in Parliament today. Minorities clashing with the Ministry of Roads with regard to the debt that has been left by the former President Mahama's administration. Ibrahim brings us more details in this regard. Ibrahim, thank you so much for joining us. Now, do let us know what exactly is happening in Parliament.
Well, the debate on the President's State of the Nation Address delivered last week is continuing in earnest, and it was the turn of the Roads Minister, Honorable Kwesi Amwako, to dig into the content of the President's address, starting on specifically his sector. and he painted a picture that this administration, like a road sector that was fast deteriorating. He mentions that 1% of the country's roads are poor as we speak. And his evidence is the fact that even minority members, day in, day out, keep on calling him, visiting him at his office, came on him to come and see this road. So that was the deterioration of the road that this administration inherited. Then he touched on the fact that the government is handicapped in doing anything about these roads, given the fact that there was huge debt overhang that was equally inherited from the Mahama administration. So, for instance, the breakdown is that he mentions that as of January 2017, government was owing contracts 0.1 billion Ghana cedis, and then the road fund was also in arrears of 506 million. He goes ahead to talk about the fact that the projects that are being executed, government will need an amount of 4.8 billion cedis to be able to complete these projects. And then he finally talked about commitment, that if you compute the cost of commitment that government has entered into, and these commitments were entered into by the previous administration, it's in excess of 17.8 billion Ghana cedis. This is where the minority has an issue as person for minority on roads and highways. Kwame Agboja government is of the opinion that commitments do not necessarily amount to arrears or debt. But then the minister insists that these were not just about commitment, they were contracts that had been entered into, and that these contracts are binding on the government of the day, and there's a need for them to cover these amounts of money to fulfill this side of the bargain. Alternatively, you can decide to complete this contract, but that will also come at a cost. So as we speak, Laura, the debate on the floor is on the presidency of the nation.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim, for that update on that said development in Parliament over the roads fund and the debt associated with the former administration. That was Ibrahim Al-Hassan, our parliamentary correspondent. Right, time now to go for a short break. Don't move. We'll be back with some more news.
How does it feel to give life to a fellow human? Priceless, and indeed the finest gesture, if you ask me. My name is Beiswadona Hammond, hosts GH Today. On Saturday, February 24, I'll be at the Achimota Retail Center. My mission? Well, in support of the National Blood Bank with 100 pints of blood. Yes, 100 pints of blood. Let's make it happen, people. You lend an arm, you save a life. Join me if you can.
Sponsors: UniCredit, Nexcofa from Ernest Chemist, supported by Unit Securities, GHOne, AfriShip Logistics, Papaya, and Papa's Pizza. This event is brought to you by GH1 TV and the National Blood Bank.
Will takes effect only after the person is dead.
The employee is entitled to go on annual leave. It's also important to know that you can adopt your own child.
It is an exciting new season of your favorite social service program, Law Express.
Polygamy does not know adultery. So you should
polygamy knows. I disagree.
Wait a minute.
A new season packed with exciting and even more relevant topics to keep you informed and educated about the laws of Ghana.
Where you go about and make yourself a busybody and disclose to a child that you've been adopted, it's an offense. And you could be imprisoned or fined or both.
Join the Law Express panel this and every week as we delve into all these relevant topics.
Using office hours to engage in social